German pilots used to joke about the P-47 Thunderbolt. They called it a flying milk jug, a chrome-plated brick, too big, too slow, too clumsy to survive a real fight. But that laughter ended the moment the jug turned toward them. An 8.50 caliber machine guns lit up the sky like a storm of steel. In seconds, the hunters became the hunted. Cut to fast-paced clips. P-47 diving, German fighters exploding, tracers filling the sky. Today, we dive inside the legend of the P-47 Thunderbolt, the American fighter that German aces underestimated, until they realized the monster they were facing. This is the story of how a laughable aircraft became one of the most feared machines over Europe. When the P-47 first appeared in European skies in 1943, Luftwaffe pilots laughed. It was enormous, twice the weight of a Bf-109. It climbed slowly, burned fuel like a battleship, and looked more like a flying tank than a fighter. German ace Gunther Rahl once said, "When you saw a Thunderbolt in the distance, it looked like a barn door." But those jokes didn't last long, because the Thunderbolt hid a secret. A brutal combination of raw firepower, insane toughness, and terrifying dive speed. Inside its massive frame sat the Pratt & Whitney R-2800 Double Wasp, 2,000 horsepower of pure American rage. This engine didn't whisper like a German Daimler-Benz. It roared. The P-47 could survive hits that would split a Messerschmitt in half. Its engine kept running through fire, flak, and shrapnel. Pilots said flying a jug was like sitting inside a steel bathtub with wings. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't elegant. But it was unstoppable. And then, there were the guns. 8 Browning and /M 2.50 caliber machine guns. 4 in each wing, spitting nearly 13 pounds of lead every second. German fighters were shredded. Trains exploded. Tanks burned. Anything unlucky enough to cross their path simply vanished. One pilot said, "You didn't fire the Thunderbolt's guns. You unleashed them." But what truly struck fear in German pilots was the P-47's dive speed. Thanks to its weight and rugged frame, the Thunderbolt could dive past 500 miles per hour, faster than any German fighter could safely follow. If a P-47 wanted to escape, nothing could catch it. If it wanted to attack, nothing could outrun it. German pilots quickly learned the rule. If a Thunderbolt is above you, move immediately. At first, the P-47 struggled with one thing: range. It couldn't escort bombers deep into Germany, and the Luftwaffe exploited that. But when the jug received drop tanks and increased fuel capacity, everything changed. Suddenly, German fighters found themselves facing Thunderbolts all the way to Berlin. The aircraft they once laughed at was now hunting them over their own homeland. By 1944, the P-47 didn't just dominate the skies. It became a terror on the ground, armed with bombs, rockets, and those 8.50s. It annihilated German armor columns, trains, and convoys. Pilots joked the Thunderbolt could destroy anything but the runway. The Luftwaffe feared it. German ground troops feared it. Even its own pilots feared how much punishment it could take, yet still come home. There's a famous story from 1944. A German pilot radioed to his squadron after facing a P-47 for the first time. His voice was shaking. He said, "This American fighter, it will not go down." He had emptied his guns into a Thunderbolt's fuselage. The jug kept flying. Then it turned around and opened fire. Minutes later, his aircraft was spiraling into the ground. The message was clear. This was no joke. This was a monster. By the end of the war, the P-47 had destroyed 7,000 plus enemy aircraft, 86,000 railway cars, 6,000 armored vehicles. It wasn't sleek like a Spitfire or graceful like a Mustang. But it didn't need to be. It was a hammer, forged for one purpose: to break anything in its way. The German pilots laughed at the Thunderbolt until it appeared behind them, guns blazing. From underestimated brute to unstoppable legend, the P-47 proved one thing: sometimes the ugliest aircraft is the deadliest. Asterisk. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more World War II aviation deep dives.